And I'm here. Howdy, y'all. Yep, it's gonna be me, myself, and I today. So between the three of us, we're gonna have a party. Yep, I'm solo, Chuck. Dad is still in recovery mode. Yeah, split personality is really a blessing at times. And you get yourself, and then you get the devil on one shoulder, get the angel on the other, and we'll see how this plays out. Michael, Jim, howdy, fellers. I see Cody in there too. And anybody else? Nope, that's it. And if Chuck's around, Lori's around. So howdy, Lori. And yes, everybody, happy St. Patty's Day. Drink that green beer bullshit all you want. No. You as a control freak, yeah. But I mean, nothing wrong with getting a little freaky, you know. I don't know. That's more something for Lori to judge than the rest of us, but well, we'll leave that alone. And there went the stream straight down the gutter. Am I every 2 weeks now? Jim, it's gonna be more of a hit and miss and hit. I have no real time schedule anymore. I've got a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. I got a lot of stuff going on in my professional life. Overtime is getting to be almost required at my job, and I just don't have the time that I used to commit to this YouTube thing. So it's gonna be more you see me if you see me kind of thing. But the next time you'll see me will be in 9 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you'll see me in 9 days. It won't be on this channel. It's gonna be on the it's gonna be on Kelly's channel. We're cooking a little something up. I think everybody knows the significance of the 26th at this point, so we're just gonna leave it at that. I was given on what? Bailey's Irish Foo Cream to one of my loyal followers. Okay. I wouldn't do any of that Bailey's Foo stuff to anyone. Uh, Even though, I mean, I must admit, if you got hot chocolate, the only way to make it better is a little Bailey's on it if you don't have any rum around. I'm more of a rum guy than foo liqueurs. Or get me some Jägermeister. Yeah. If you got some good Jägermeister, I'll be up for that. 26 pre-order crap, you mean? Well, we'll find out what it is. If it's pre-order or order or what it is. I'm not even sure to whether or not that thing's going to be available in the US, to tell you the honest truth. Brett, howdy, feller. Last I heard, you were heading for Oklahoma. Is that where you're at? Actually, yeah, the water might be a little silly, but I'm kind of eyeing that thing. I kind of see where that thing could be a lot of fun. So, Tulsa last night, now in Oklahoma City. So, when you were in Tulsa, did you go by the what's that place called again? From Tulsa King? Or am I the only one that watched Tulsa King? It can't be. It's too popular. Did you go see the General in Tulsa? Yeah, wait a minute. That's suspiciously close to Lloyd too. Did you go see Lloyd? That's no. He's he's in that area too. 107 doesn't watch Tulsa King. Well, 107 doesn't watch anything Jenna won't let him watch. That's what that is. So old anyhow, so was that still being on the mend? Um, that's murder. He flew to New Zealand for 1 week, coming back with that time change, going and coming all in 1 week. It's absolute murder. Um, I've done it where I had to go to Germany on the quick and come back like in 3 or 4 days. And that's 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 just murder. What happened to Dad? Nothing happened to Dad. His daughter got married in New Zealand. His now son-in-law is a guy from New Zealand, and not too far from XJet, but he did not make it to go see XJet. Let's see.
Okay. Money big.
Let's see. Make this big and share it, and then I can. He did send me a postcard of sorts. There we go.
Okay. Money big. Okay.
So there he is, down under. Make this go away. All right. I should make the trip to the South Florida drone meetup April 10th to 13th at Jensen Beach, Florida. that's gonna be a real challenge. I actually need to travel this year, and I have to travel to Germany. My dad is sick. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Well, I guess no, it's the big C. So we'll just leave it at that. That's not California there, 107. Barkley. He's too close to California to begin with when he's home. So I don't. So anyway, so yeah, I've got to travel to Germany this year, and I don't think I'm going to be able to pull off both. So anyway, um, but that's enough. Today, since I'm more of, well, I guess we could touch on a little camera work. So I've recently cleared out my spare equipment, if you want to call it that, and got rid of a bunch of stuff. I still have this thing, the Osmo Nano, and I got this to go with that. So I got the Mini 3 mic to go with this for kind of a vlogging type situation. This thing is not half bad for vlogging purposes. So, and I had it, and I'm going to keep it because it fits on drones pretty good. And with the Mini 3 bag, it comes out to a nice compact little kit. So then you just combine that with the old Insta360 stick that also converts into a tripod, and you've got yourself a nifty little vlogging handle. I mean, this thing comes out quite a ways. So, yes, it has a memory card slot, but it also has 128 gig of memory built into it. So it's 128 gig on board, and then on the power module or whatever they call this thing now, there is a slot for an SD card, so you can transfer stuff over while you charge your camera. So 128 gig is a lot of room for a little vlogging setup. I don't think that's gonna be crunch my style in any way. Yeah. Again, yeah, 128 on board and whatever card you want to stick into the module. What they call it, the monitor thing. And what I really like about it is, now you have to monitor in front, and now you have to monitor in the back. So you can flip it as needed. So if you just want to go down and see and have the screen, you can, or you can just see yourself. So I think it'll do nicely. But today's stream's gonna be a bit more FPV centric than drone centric, because, or camera drone centric. I mean, everybody's seen all the different teasers for the Avata 360. Kelly put one out, Flight Pass put one out, Air Photography, Captain Drone, and I know I forgot about half a dozen others. But you know, it's nice to see that Ready Set Drone is in the mix. So we'll see what Kelly comes up with. But yeah, I'm sort of interested in it. We'll see. Apparently, it works with the Goggles 3, which was one of my concerns. Now, as you all know, I got rid of my Goggles 3, so now I'm going to have to come up with another Goggles 3 or Goggles N3. But well, I don't know that he's back. I think he was still in a relationship with DJI. It's just Kelly's a busy guy. Matter of fact, I had him invited for tonight, but him and Sunrise are out supporting an event somewhere, and they couldn't make it. But it's good to see that he's doing the work with DJI. That's for sure. I'm not even though there's a bunch of stateside channels that have it and tease it right now, I'm not 100% convinced that it actually is going to be available in the US through the DJI website. I got the feeling this is going to be another one of those Amazon or South Korea specials. I got my Osmo Nano. It came through Amazon. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But I've been busy. I've been busy building stuff. So first one, so yeah, the price for the drone base drone, if it translates, because I've always only seen euro prices. Is there a possible spin up in the future? He said he was done with it. I don't know. I'd like to see him doing another one, but I mean that is a pretty hefty financial commitment for him. And yeah, I mean, the venue and getting everything set up, that's not, it adds up in a hurry. So, but anyway, so I've been building a little bit. So here we have the Flyfish RC Atlas 4, Speedy Bee stack, and then I have the Flywoo Air 4 155 Pro kit in there, I guess is what you call it, when you have the wide angle lens on it and you have the casing around the 04 board. I actually have a real antenna on there instead of that little stubby little thing. Even has GPS on it. Yeah. How about that? ELRS receiver on it. And Actually, it is SEP 250, even with a 550 6S battery. Yes, this thing is built on 6S. Now, originally, I was going to use a different motor on this thing. And if you notice, the motor wires on this are a little short. And I do have a solution for that. Gonna get out the old soldering iron. Come on, get out of there. These are little LEDs that go on the arms, like about right there. And then the wires get hooked to either side. And then I won't have too short a wire on it anymore. So it's going to go right about there. And one on either side. And then I've got party lights, LED lights. Make it stick out a little more in the park. This is what I consider a little park fly. So the main power wire comes on the back here. I've actually routed it underneath so it wouldn't interfere with the air unit or the receiver in there. You see the receiver is up in here. I had to get a little creative with the capacitor and stack, and then the wide angle, the flywheel wide angle lens mod, which I really like that. So we get the full 155-degree view out of this camera again. Makes it good for flying, even in close quarters. I'm pretty stoked about that. But because I couldn't just build one of them, I had to build two of them. This is the Deep Space Seeker 35. So this is a 3.5-inch Seeker. I got the 5-inch and the 7-inch. Matter of fact, right there, that's the 7-inch. The big brother. So we got the 7-inch and we got the 3.5-inch. And the 3.5-inch actually is pretty grown up. So I actually used the Axis CNC cover for the 04 board because it encloses the board a little better. Now it does have these little plastic strips down the side to make it all look pretty and like factory. And it actually came with it. See that little USB connection right there? That is actually hooked to the flight controller. Come on, focus. That's actually hooked to the flight controller, so I don't have to take any of this off to get to the flight controller. Stack in here is a flywheel stack, and the motors are HGLRC 1804 2450 kV. So this is a 6-inch 6S built, and right under this little thing is a GPS. And because this is a long range, I did put an XR4 ELRS receiver in here that's on 915 and 2.4. So I can use my Radiomaster GX12 to its fullest potential. Got the old school CADX Vista antenna. I still have one floating around. There's a good place for it. And this will fly anywhere from 650 milliamp to 1,000 milliamp batteries, 6S. And again, the wide angle lens, this one actually has the UV filter on it already. Because I actually bought this. This 04 light I bought with the lens mount already on it, and it does come with the UV filter built in, which so. And now, you know, I've got another candidate to build, and I haven't quite figured out how am I going to go about this one yet. And that's probably going to be a good topic to talk about tonight, because I've got some ideas. But yeah, this is 3.5 inch. I mean, this actually looks pretty freaking sophisticated. It's not the run of the mill, built you own. This actually, with these sights, gives it a bit of a more of a factory look. And you can get the model number on there. And the thing that I like about these guys, see these screws? All the screws that go through TPU have a little washer built onto them so they don't pull through the TPU like a regular screw would. So there's, they did go that far and did supply the screws with the washer so you don't accidentally pull them through the TPU. Okay, it has a soft mounting for the camera. So it's, I haven't had a chance to fly any of this because the weather went to shit, and then that was 2 weekends ago, and then last weekend we ended up running all over the place, and it just did not work out for several reasons. But one of these days I'm going to get to fly again. And for those that haven't seen it yet, I did go ahead and buy the white one. I did have to do the upgrade. You know why? Because I already have the white pocket, so I need to have matching radios. I couldn't have just this one in black and this one in white. No, they had to match. So yeah, Amazon actually had a good deal on this. Transfer all my stuff over from the old one, and already sold the old one. So I did give Dad the option to buy it, but he didn't want. He was too occupied with his trip. So sold it locally to a truck driver. So anyhow, so now I've got, okay, originally everything that's in here was supposed to go into this thing. This is the 3-inch seeker. Here's the 3.5 inch. Then I saw the 3.5 inch and the nice GPS housing and all these nice bits and pieces that came with it, and I just had to have it. And actually the frame is pretty freaking reasonable. So I went. Now I've got this one. I got an extra frame laying around, and now I need to figure out how am I going to build this thing. And I've got some ideas because I've got one of these trays is for 18650 batteries. what I'm thinking about is take that tray and kind of bolt it down on this thing. Here, make a little room. Bolt that down on this. Stick two 18650s in here. I do have some 1404 motors that I could go on here that are 6,000 kV. So I could have two. I just have to find a stack that could handle the 2S. And that's where it gets sticky. Because this flight controller here, this is actually a spare flight controller. It's a J Hamco JH MCU I bought this to test air units and stuff with. Because, you know, you've got the cable, you just plug it into an air unit, or there's another cable that I make to plug in to a Voxnell avatar just to power it to test stuff. It's supposed to be a working thing, but I didn't buy it as a working. So it does have, it's an all-in-one. So I could, you know, theoretically plant this in here, but this thing is 3. This thing is 3 to 6S. We need 2S because this would be 2S. The motors could handle the 3S, but then I couldn't use that. I would have to find a different tray that holds 3 of these batteries. And then you get into the issue where the stuff is getting too heavy. Because 3 of those batteries, they're like 50, 60 grams each. So that about takes up all of your weight. Because if I'm going to build this thing, I'd like to keep it below 250. This is not below 250. And there's people that are questioning this, why this exists, because if you're not staying under 250, you might as well build the 5-inch. I don't know. I disagree. This is very lightweight. This actually weighs the same as this thing. This is the Speedy B Master 3X. So, which the Master 3X is. This is a pretty nice little setup. I built it as a 6S, but I'm thinking about stripping the motors out of this and install a different motor to make it 4S. Because this battery tray right here is very limiting on what size battery you can install on this. And see this little tray right here? That is to stick your balance plug into so it don't go flopping around while you fly. So you get the balance plug that goes in here and just being held, and then you get your discharge going in here. I mean, this is a nice little flyer, but I may pull these motors off and use them on this. I don't know. I can't quite figure out. I can't quite make up my mind which way I'm going to go with this. And it is something that happens to me quite often when I'm doing these builds, that I change my mind. I buy stuff and then, okay, do I really want to do this? And then, this 4-inch. Fortunately, I had the 1804 motors on here, and I thought that would be perfect size motor for this thing. Except that I couldn't get it under 250. It was a decent battery. I could have got it to under 250. It was the 450 mega hour battery. But then I would have had, I mean, you wouldn't have hardly any flight time. So, and I was playing with it. You start pulling screws off that are not really needed in order to lighten the load. Take all these little TPU pieces off, and I eventually got it under 250. Was the other motor, but when I start building this one, this only has 12 millimeter holes for the motors. The motors that I bought for this had 9 millimeter mounting pattern. So these require 12 millimeter mounting pattern motors, and I had 9 mil. So what did I do? Took the motors, stick it on here, and then use the bigger motors to go on here because they had the 12 millimeter mounting pattern, which lightened the load on this and actually did make it way under 250 was the battery. When I go install those LEDs on the arms, that'll be pretty much a wash because those LEDs are extremely lightweight. It's not going to screw up too much as far as the weight is concerned for this thing. So this one ended up was the bigger motor, even though I didn't mean to put them on here. But this thing is like, I forget what the empty weight on this thing was, like 320. Let's see. So it's 230 for this without a battery. Then you've got the battery on it. So battery's what, 85 grams. Make it 100 grams. So you're somewhere 330, 350. Puts us over, but I fly in a Freya. So remote ID is not really something for me to worry about too much anymore. Because in the Freya, we don't have to have remote ID. And if I just want to go buzz around on the park, I'll do this and stay under 250 and don't worry about it. Or, I'm going to get this built. This is going to be under 250 as well. So anyway, yeah. So there's, do I pull these motors, put them on here, use the flight control I have that can do up to 6X, put this on here. This one I want to build as a testing rig because we got a lot of digital systems coming out. So we have the Walksnail Ascent. We have the Beta FPV HD that's on the Aquila 20 HD. So the P1, I think that's what it's called. HGLRC is coming out with a digital system. Now, all these digital systems are apparently, like Beta FPV and HGLRC are probably both the same Artisan chipset. But we don't know if they're going to be compatible or not. It wouldn't hurt my feelings any if it was. But yeah, HLRC is coming out with some beta FPV. And all these companies coming out with their own digital system is going to water down the market. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about that yet, but so far each digital system is only compatible with its goggles, and that's going to be a bad deal if we can't get VRXs to hook up to our goggles. So we'll have to play that out and see how this works out in the long run. So anyhow, if you guys get a chance, hit that thumb, please. I don't know what happened to my robot. It's no longer working. I might have to give that thing a swift kick in the behind. Let's see if we can't get that thing to come up. Remind y'all. So yeah, anybody has any suggestions what I'm going to do with this? I know you fly in the free, I'll fly in the freeway. Yep. I heard about your flyaways. I didn't know they were free. Yeah, the FRIA that I'm flying at is 144-acre airport. Rather fly analog instead of all new digital systems on DJI. Well, hobby high. I'm actually toying with that idea. I'm actually toying with the idea of buying the HD0 goggles. I can't quite make up my mind if I want the V2 or if I want the box goggles. I'm leaning more toward the V2s, but no, they're not cheap. And the base model doesn't even come with antennas. Now they do have a deal on it with antennas for $30 more. You get a set of antennas with it, but they're not the true RC antennas. If you want to get the true RC antennas, you're talking a $100 bill on top of that. So that's 850. Yeah, about $850 for those, and it's just so. So the other thought would be go with the HD0 box goggles, which run what 350 and 399 depending on which one you want. The Pro or the Pro Plus. The Pro Plus has the backpack functionality and Wi-Fi on it. Where the Wi-Fi I wouldn't freaking care about. The backpack would be a bit more interesting if I were to go to analog. So, is it no worth the extra $50, or I basically for the extra $50 you can change the channels on your goggles through your radio. What it boils down to. I mean, you could program other functions too, but yeah, it's. But yeah, no, HD0 I would be interested in going down that hole too. I still have the Walk Snail Avatar 2 that I'm not sure how I'm going to proceed with that. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, HD0 is pricey, and HD0 is extremely limited on their VTXs. And the VTXs you can afford don't have any output power, and the ones that have the output power are right up there with 04 these days. So yeah, there's just no good way. But the HD0 goggles analog are pretty good on the analog. And I'm going to pull up HD0's US shop, since they now have a US shop for us. So there's the goggle 2 for $750. Let's see. Here's the goggles 2 with antenna bundle. That's $780. And now that they have a radio on the market and they're going to throw in the battery box too, then we're at $855. Now I do have this battery pack, and apparently there's now an issue where this cable enters the battery box, and the lack of strain relief on here. If there was enough movement on here, you could actually break these cables inside the silicone sleeve. And this cable, I don't know what they've done with it. It's silicone sleeve, but when you feel it, it feels like you can feel the individual strands of wire in it, and that's not normal. So this is not, this has not been built, or these are not molded, or the silicone is not molded around the wire. It's like a silicone sleeve that has the wire going through it. I don't know. Anyway, either way, they are working on a fix for that, and we'll see. Apparently you can download a STL file now for a aftermarket strain relief that you can double stick tape to the case and put a zip tie around it. I don't know if I want to go that route or not. Anyway, so yeah. Uh, Now the Box Pros, I wouldn't be too opposed to those either. I know they're both pre-orders, but yeah, there's a lot of rabbit holes for us to go down into, isn't there? There are a lot of rabbit holes. And I mean, is it? I want to play with some of these things, but I'm not want to play with it at any cost. And I just, thought since I have this spare frame, I could build something that I could just swap. Because if I put an all-in-one flight controller in this thing, there's plenty of room for VTX on top of it. There's plenty of room back here for a receiver and what have you. You can have top mount battery, you can have bottom mount battery. I mean, this thing has some good potential. So I'm gonna have GPS on it. I mean, you could get it in here, but I don't think I want to. Even though the kit does come you can get GPS on here if you really want it to. It does come with a kit to put it on there. I like to build shit, so it's yeah, there's a lot of considerations that go into these belts, and not all of them are lightly made. Now I'm really curious how this thing's gonna fly. I don't know, were you in earlier hobby? Did you see the Secret 35? Even has a USB site port on it to where you get to plug in for beta flight. You get the air unit, and you've got the air unit back here, and this is the Axis Flying CNC case. I did have another Flywood case, but this one encloses the board more and has more cooling capacity to it. And since this thing is sitting kind of enclosed, I figured that'd probably be better. So, and if you hear my little pup down there squealing, she's not too happy. She has to be inside right now because we have a landscaper here working on the backyard, and she don't like to be in her crate during the day. Let's see. I do have a recent picture of her. There we go. There we go. Meet Lou, my coyote dog. If she had a bushy tail, everybody would be mistaking her for a coyote. She's some sort of shepherd mix, but there might be some coyote on her yet. She got her last round of shots on Sunday, and now she's all legal. Now she can go to the dog park too. So we'll have to see how that works out. A Shih Tzu, two Shih Tzus, and a poodle. Yeah, we have another one that's like an Australian Shepherd mix, and she's about 7. But what's the little one now? Her mother instinct's gone full tilt, and she just loves taking care of the little one. And those two are like inseparable now. I mean, even you see them lay out in the yard, and they lay right, no, not on top of each other, but right next to each other. They're always touching when they're laying down. Kind of cute. Bob Casey made it. Howdy, feller. Good to see you. I'm sorry to hear that, Barkley. Wired hair pointer. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. B-Rad is selling this DJI FPV drone, and He thinks it has the V2 goggles with it. If it's the old bulky goggle, yeah, that is the V2 goggle. Arguably stole the best goggle DJI made as far as comfort is concerned. The DJI FPV, the one thing I never did understand on it was that the blessed thing would land on the corner of the battery. I just always thought that was a design flaw. So decided to get the bamboo lamp. What's the MS? Something to do other than, and I'm kind of half-ass looking at the P. Is that the P2S now? Let's see here. What's it? Bamboolab.com. Or their printers. There we go. Yeah. The P2S. Actually, I don't know whether or not I want the AMS on it or not. Go away. But I'm half-assed eyeing the P2S, even though I must say the Centauri carbon I've got back there has been bulletproof. So I think the P2 has enough advantages on it to warrant a little extra money over the P1, especially on that display up here. So, but hey, if you got a good deal on it at Best Buy, then I don't blame you. Barkley still flies to DJI FPV. Fast enough, says the old man. Your ninja-like reflexes slow down a little bit, so. Five batteries, but two are kaput. Yeah, that land the drone on the corner of its battery just. But then again, the growl when you first fire it up, that's still awesome. A human sloth. You mean you're the human form of a sloth? At least that's what Jenna said. For all we know, that this might be Jenna typing in the chat here. I mean, I can see where you want was the P1S on the cost side of things, because on the P1 you get the AMS kit for free versus the P2. And if Best Buy is running a good sale, be hard to pass up. But anyway, um, yeah, for no, I don't get tacos. That's a dad thing. But it's welcome, because that puts us right at an hour, which is long enough for one of these streams. And it's time to get on with it and get out of here. And he gets his dinner, and I get a little time and dinner myself. So it's all good. Anyway, like I hinted earlier, on release day, keep an eye on Kelly's channel. You never know who you might see in a stream. But yeah, we're working on something to set something up for release day. So in 9 days. I don't have any more words of wisdom to share today, and my voice is starting to give out. So I'm just gonna call it a day. Um, Probably won't see me next Tuesday because of next Thursday. And then, we'll see you when we'll see you. I'm sure Dad's going to be with us again next time. So he's recovering. He needs to. It's been that's a rough trip for a short time, or it's a long trip for a short time. So, yep, dinner's calling. I'm with you, Barkley. Same here. I can actually smell somebody else cooking tonight. So anyway, I will see y'all next time. Appreciate y'all spending time coming here and hanging out, and hit that thumb up on the way out, please. I appreciate it. And until then, I'll see y'all probably on next Thursday. Bye.